Yeah, we straight.
Yes, peace, everyone. Brandon, so good to be in your presence once more. Well, what can I say? It is a pleasure to be communicating with you again as always, bro. I do wish that everything's been going your way. Everybody who may come across this video, I do wish that things have been going well for you all, and that you have been living your best experience yet. Well, as much of a good experience as you can create in this place, because, yeah, not much to be said right there. Because, well, yeah, I mean, this place, you know what I mean? I mean, this 3D physical place, you know what I mean? This place of experience. Yeah, like if the analogy of Eddie Murphy's Coming to America isn't as clear cut and straightforward as it can be, then yeah, we definitely left Zamunda to come to this freaking place. But I mean, yeah, you definitely have to really start watching movies and TV shows and cartoons, basically any type of entertainment whatsoever with an open spiritual eyes, because yeah, they be hiding this stuff in plain sight, you know what I mean? But in any case, Brandon, yeah, once again, good to be in your presence once more. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, everything's been pretty good. Glad to do another one with you and that and everything. Like all we can do and all we can say is like, try your best in this one because it's already so limited and everything like that. But, you know, all we can do is just keep moving forward and keep pushing on. And for like entertainment, it's like either it will fly past you or it will stick with you with the knowledge. So that's why your first eye definitely has to be open.
And the thing is, you definitely would have to, okay, like, just like what the great Bobby Hemmett himself once said, which is exactly why I wouldn't advise anyone to just throw away their King James Bible, even though, well, let's be honest, it's the King James Bible. It's King James version of the frickin' Bible. Could you imagine? Would you really stop and think that a Bible that was written at that particular point in time, but then hundreds to thousands of cycles, you've had ancient scriptures that were already written, that had given their own accounts and their own um, teachings and their own knowledge and wisdom based off of everything that the ancients themselves accumulated and knew based off of the energies and forces all around the universe and whatnot. And like these motherfuckers, like to thousands of years later, they literally have an agenda to want to like materialistically take over things, because that's just what they are. So like they come, and then they take all of the teachings and all of the wisdom of the ancients, and they interpolate it, they mix it up, and then they turn it into this poppycock fairy tale based off of some god who's, for lack of a better word, a complete asshole, and like, yeah, who just wants to freaking make himself known to people. First of all, if you're the freaking god of the universe, or whatever you want to call it, how is it that everyone all across all four corners of this freaking world don't already fucking know you? How is it that I if I'm living right here in the Caribbean, and this god is supposed to be the all in all, even as they would say in ancient times, how is it that I was supposed to be aware of your existence from day one if you never even made your presence known to me? You know what I mean? I mean, with these so-called Hebrews and Jews, or whatever the hell you want to call them, coming in with their doctrine, and these freaking pimp pastors and teachers and these bishops and these priests and all these motherfuckers in these freaking religious circles and whatnot. But at this point, you should already have grown and come to the knowledge and the you should basically have already come to the knowledge that religion is nothing but politics. If you're talking about the Catholic Church, politics. You're talking about the Romans, pure politics. You're talking about the Protestants, politics. Oh, and for anyone who wants to really find out just how the Protestants came out of the Catholics, you should look up the history of Martin Luther, who was a German, I would like to say a preacher or something like that. But yeah, Martin Luther. Yeah, look up his history. Look up his history and how he himself was against the Catholic Church and whatnot, and how the whole Protestant Reformation, Protestant. I mean, you could go back and listen to Young Pharaoh on that one because Young Pharaoh did a pretty good job. Shout out to him on that. The Protestant literally comes from protesting against the Catholic Church. But I mean, that's just a little history lesson in and of itself. As the lovely Dr. Mumbi herself would say, stories for other days. Do your own research so that you can come to your own conclusion. Don't just accept anything that I just say or spout or whatever. But so I'm supposed to be aware of this God who is supposedly the be all end all, the all things in the universe, and like I'm supposed to yeah, suddenly come to the acknowledgement that, oh God, you're real. Oh yeah, only now you've made your presence known to me. Like, you see how this doesn't make any fucking sense, bro? How this was really nothing but but some fucking militaristic political agenda that some motherfuckers who came from wherever it was that they came from just try to plot and plan and scheme just to try to take over land and control masses of people, just once again so that they could materialistically take over things and whatnot. But either way, yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Yeah, we've got notes. I'm pretty sure you've written the notes down and whatnot. But before we get to that, bro, please, yeah, based off of everything that we have come to know, everything that we have come to realize, whether it be through other sources or like to our from within our own akashic records, our own inner libraries from lifetimes and lifetimes worth of experience. Like, please let the people know what it is, bro. Like, religion, it's probably only good for the very beginning, but there's only so much that you could do with it once you really start to want more. You know what I mean? Like, please take it away, Brandon.
Oh yeah, it's like they took all the knowledge and twisted it and then turned it off for them. So everything is just like non-existence. Like how can you trust something or someone when you have incomplete information? So with that God analogy, like you don't even know who this person is. They didn't even make it their presence known. So now it's practically non-existent. So you had other people influencing you to make you believe that this Keodor was real and that you have to worship him and everything like that. But like religion is just like those other seven pillars, a way to enslave you and make more profit because everything is about money, power, control, these beasts as we all know it. And then people think it's benefiting themselves, but it's really not because we can see all the agendas that are taking place. And it's like they just go one by one. They just have one agenda, or they have multiple agendas going on at the same time. Just look at the mainstream media. They got like a million stories that they cover all the time because the news comes on literally all day, every day. The time you wake up, the time you have lunch break, and then by the time you get back to your house, it's on all day. So at this point, you just gotta see it for what it is.
Indeed, my brother. Indeed, indeed. And bro, usually we don't yeah, but yeah, you definitely make a good point on that one. Yeah, people need to realize that the people who run this essentially matrix, fake matrix society or whatever you want to call it, they want to make sure to keep all of your senses stimulated and bombarded and overwhelmed with bullshit. Nothing but pure, utter garbage. And then they won't stop at anything until they literally have your attention geared toward their bullshit because that's just how they operate. That's their modus operandi. They won't stop at anything until your attention, your creative energies, your creative forces creates, be it intentionally or unintentionally, their reality for them. But hey, this is the kind of knowledge and wisdom that you have to come to at this point. And especially when it comes to the few elect. Oh boy, that's probably a whole topic that we may get into today, but either way, yeah, stories for other days. Bro, I just sent you a video right there. Could you just like, yeah, play that video so that yeah, the lovely Dr. Mumbi could kick things off for us so that yeah, people could have a good idea on yeah, what it is that they should yeah, be aware of, especially when it comes to this system. I mean, you got to be grateful for one thing. The system is falling, it's being exposed. We're really starting to see it all for what it is. Like, for those who should awaken are starting to awaken, though I feel it's not fast enough as it should be. You know what I mean? But either way, my brother, as we're getting into Dr. Mumbi's video, any thoughts, any yeah suggestions or any yeah, just let the people know how it is that you feel and that yeah, what it is that they should be doing in order to properly position themselves to really put themselves in a better position to overcome all this nonsense from the beast as we know it, this bullshit matrix system.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to send this to myself, but I can just talk about the oh yeah, like how we were saying, this one right here, I'm gonna be dead honest. This joint is slower than a snail and total combined, and I'm gonna give this analogy because this is came to me right now. I'm be honest. The spiritual realm, listen, I'm trying to the people who listening right now, listen, you who be into gaming and whatnot, listen, the spiritual realm is like a fast processor, high quality, what I'm saying? It's better than the PS5, it's better than the Xbox, it's better than PC, it's the best gaming system ever because it goes fast, it's simple, push in what you want to have to create, and it happens right then and there, right? That's the spiritual realm. Now, listen, let me tell you about the physical realm. The physical realm is an elderly person who's on their deathbed over here trying to type on a typewriter. That's how slow this joint really is right here.
Oh, this physical realm, it's just no words, right? Like no better explanation can be given, right? It's just ridiculous at how absolutely slow things manifest in this fucking place. It's just egregious. It's just no comment, Dr. Bass. No comment.
Yeah, no comment at all. I'm about to pull up the video now.
Yeah, just let the people hear Dr. Mumbi's take on things and that. Oh, by the way, big shout out to James Earl Jones who made the transition. Like for real. Yeah, he made the transition. May he definitely be in a way better place than this motherfucker for sure. Indeed, you shouldn't feel bad that someone left. You should be happy that they left this fucking place. Straight up. Indeed, James Earl Jones, he was literally King Joffrey, Eddie Murphy's father in Coming to America. Straight up, he was literally letting Eddie Murphy's character know from the get go, yeah, your kingdom, this is your kingdom, this is who you are, your royalty and whatnot. And you decide to want to go to some shithole in a faraway place just for an experience that I don't even really know if you really want. I'm essentially, is this something that you really want? But I mean, it is just an experience after all, bro. Be it for better or for worse. It's just a fucking experience. It's how you manage to overcome the experience and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the feel like it's all about motivating them and just uplifting them because we can all see about humanity and the masses. Like they're only good for going to the slaughterhouse at this point. And with all these background characters, NPCs, I mean, you over here walking down the street, eh, a brick wall is more interesting than a person, I'm gonna be honest with
Imagine having a freaking conversation with a brick wall. Jeez, I think I'm gonna call him Wally. Yeah, yo, Wally, you are stern, serious, rock solid, and hard, bro.
you. It would be
Wally,
facts.
Wally out here better than most of these humanoid characters, these background NPC characters out here. I mean, bro, you just gotta fucking essentially, if you just revisit the Matrix trilogy, then you really start to see everything for what it is. The Matrix wasn't some movie series. It was a fucking documentary that was letting us know what it is.
Yeah, facts. I'll play it now. Like how we were saying, slower than a total and a snail combined. I'm gonna be honest. This
Yeah,
physical realm is
that's
something
just
else.
that's just the freaking realm, man. That's just how it is, man. That's just how it is.
Facts.
Yeah, you could skip to 1 minute. Yeah, just make it to 1 minute and whatnot.
Uh,
1 minute to be exact. I don't even know who this brother Tyreek Hill is, but yeah, these motherfuckers, we're not falling for their shit anymore.
oh yeah, we can't
United
fall
States.
for
It's been
them.
a while
Uh,
since something from the divided states has caught our attention because, as you know, if you've been following my channel, Kenya is in a revolution. A lot of Africa is like focused on their own liberation right now, where it like back in the 60s, trying to get our freedom, trying to gain our freedom again, realizing that we were never free. But before I even get into it, family, thanks to every single person that supports us on Patreon, we wouldn't even be here 7 years later. When I saw Tyreek Hill Hill trending, my first thought was, oh my gosh, here goes another police brutality. Here goes another white supremacist ritual against our African American brothers and sisters. But it was nipped in the bud. We did see him getting roughed up, but I immediately was like, it must be that season again, ritual season, and especially being an election year. And of course, a lot of guys in Miami, a lot of the fans of Tyreek and his football team have come out and said that, the police are racist, like we didn't know it. But it was also curious to me that either a few days before, a few days later, I think it was a few days before, James Earl Jones, the famous actor, passed on. It didn't gain as much traction because family, they love to harvest our emotions. Our emotions are like gold to them. Our emotions are like diamonds and pearls and the most expensive jewels. So if there's any chance, if there's any opportunity that they can harvest our energy, they will do it. But I told you, family, we are in a new dispensation. They weren't able to harvest the energy that they would have wanted. In fact, I even felt it was nipped in the bud. And there's a lot that's happening with these rituals right now where they're getting stopped in their tracks before it gets too out of control, family. Before it gets too out of, like, it's just, So things are changing. We are in a new dispensation. And I really feel like spiritually, psychically, and mentally, and astrally, we're way more online than we have been before. And this is preventing the kind of, you know, massive harvesting of our energy that they would have wanted, family. And this shows that truly we are returning to our rightful place as the rightful rulers. We've been expecting a lot of false flag, but they've all fallen through. Like they'd expected a massive false flag during the Olympics. It didn't happen. And so I really feel, family, let me know if this is something you're feeling in the comments as well. I really feel like the way I always talked about our ancestors and our ancient ones being back, like our people are back. Our spiritual reinforcement is here. And while they're able to do a little bit, they're not able to do a whole lot. So hang strong, family. Stand firm. And as I always say, please move into your own story, especially when the information is available and you can figure it out for yourself. Learn about who you are, teach your children who they are, because we are moving away from the lies of Babylon. But if you're too mentally entangled in their fake superiority, in their fake narratives, in their whitewashed history, then you risk going down when Babylon goes down. And that is what they'd want, because their fate is already sealed, family. This whole thing has been about the fact that we can access realms that they cannot, and that their fate is sealed to a conclusion. We don't have a beginning or an end, but those who rule over us actually do. And that's what this whole thing has been about. Stay prayed up, stay focused, family. And one thing I'm also realizing is the more we talk about the things they've tried to do, the rituals they're trying to, carry out, the more they lose their power. And I really believe, actually, I know that because for the last few years there's been such a massive exposure of the white supremacy agenda, and there's nothing supreme about them, the white imperialistic agenda, and the slaughtering of people and all that they were doing to lynch our people, family. The more we talked about it, the less the incidents became. And we're so, so grateful to that and for that, family. So our power and our weapon is in our tongue. The more we talk about our liberation, our supremacy, our true inheritance, our true identity, the more it manifests, and the more those that have stolen our identity and those false prophets and false gods and false superior supremacists continue to fall. Special shout out to everyone that supports us on Patreon and PayPal. Definitely consider doing so that we can continue to bring you the awakening news. Until next time, family. Tuko
Good
pamoja.
to go, bro. Well, yeah, that was the lovely Dr. Mumbi. Love her. Love how she just put her hair out. Like you really love to see when a sister just, yeah, being natural with herself and whatnot. Like you really love to see it instead of having all these other melanated women out here with freaking blonde wigs and whatnot. But it's interesting because while I don't want to dwell on that topic, I it was recently last night where I listened to Nuben Menkare's where he spoke about how like how you have these entities out here who be reincarnating constantly, bro. You have these so-called, well, for lack of a better term, you have these quote unquote white spirits who be incarnating in melanated bodies, or at least what appears to be melanated bodies, because at this point we should already have come to the realization that just because you're melanated, that don't mean that you're gonna be saved, that don't mean you're gonna make it out of this realm. Straight up, not all skin folk are kinfolk. And I could tell you based off of my own experience, some of the worst experiences I've had, straight up, have been with melanated people. That's not to say that, yeah, I haven't come across some messed up non-melanated people, but you get what it is I'm saying. But I mean to say, like, yeah, he was making a good point about how yeah, you have all these melanated women out here wanting to wear blonde wigs and dye their skin brighter, and you have all these melanated men out here wanting to freaking yeah, be with these non-melanated women and that kind of stuff. But I just mean yeah, when it comes to uh energy, because remember, this is stuff that we've learned. Even Brother Panic himself mentioned it. This is stuff that we've learned from since elementary school. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So what happens to the energy of those who have so-called passed on, like James Earl Jones? Big shout out to that brother. He literally moved on from his physical body. I mean, what much more do you need him to do? He already did his work. His time came, he left. So now his life force, he has to go on to experience something else. You know what I mean? But for all these other spirits, for want of a better term, out here be reincarnating over and over, coming back in different bodies and whatnot. I guess Dr. Delbert Blair had a point on that, but yeah, you could definitely give your own take on that. But what I mean to say is, yeah, Dr. Mumbi makes a really good point with what it is that she shared, bro. So yeah, just let the people know, bro. Yeah, any extra words of well, knowledge and yeah, based off of everything that I just mentioned there, what it is that the people should be considering. I mean, it's really all up to the individual. I'm not telling anyone what to do, period. It's just, yeah, things that they may want to stop and consider for even just a few minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, at least like stop and like ponder on it because a lot of people just have a lot of belief systems and because of their childhood or what people project onto them. Because let's be honest, if a person was raised in the wilderness, they would come out so differently than a person who came out of like a city and stuff like that. So it's really just a mindset and just changing those belief systems because you are the original course breaker and energy can only be transmuted, just can't be destroyed or um
Created, it
created.
can't be created
Yeah,
or destroyed.
yeah,
So if
and then
energy can't be created or destroyed, why are motherfuckers so damn afraid of death? What you call death in this realm is truly a liberation from the shackles and the bondage and the prison house that is the physical body. So why should I be happy having to come back to this bullshit physical body over and over and over again? Which is why I always be saying, and big shout out to Brother Panic on that one for real, my brother. But Bobby Hemmett deserves the shout out on that one too, because these brothers have been saying this shit for so long now. If you and I were not here in these physical bodies right now, bro, what would be the reason for the both of us to interact with one another? On top of that, if this physical body is a prison house that keeps me from truly experiencing my full spiritual, energetic, great force potential, why should I be happy to come back to this stupid shit? And if energy can't be created or destroyed, why are motherfuckers so afraid of death? But either way, yeah, you definitely give the people your take on that one, bro. All I have to say is everything that you were taught about this place, yeah, it's time for you to literally, as you said, sit back and really meditate on it. But really, you have to go within to get the answers because everything that you may receive as an answer from someone else should simply be a confirmation based off of what you already came to realize, the realizations that you have already come to for yourself, straight up.
oh yeah, facts. It's like all about that confirmation. Just like you should already know in your mind and your heart, and then once you hear that confirmation, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's a sign or a synchronicity right there. And then it's like more easy. It's more easier and it's more fun destroying universes than creating them. And coming back down here is to this illusionary holographic realm. This joint is just crazy out here in these streets. But I'm gonna quote Andy's true self with saying, "If this is life, I want to fall in love with death." Be dead honest.
Bro, straight up. Because think about it, in Marvel Comics, Thanos, what you see in the MCU is literally nothing more than just, how can I say, the appetizer that would have to prepare you for actually reading the comics because Thanos has been in Marvel Comics for many years now. And because people need to realize in the comics, he was originally the reason why he was so fascinated with death was because yeah, he fell in love with Mistress Death ever since he was a young man. And Mistress Death, well, being who she is, she needed as much people to die to make her job a lot easier. So, in order for her to make her job easier, she had to get in touch with Thanos. And Thanos himself, the way I look at it now, the more you stop and think about it, because Thanos is based off of an ancient Greek figure, Thanatos. Definitely do the research and check it out for yourself. But I mean to say, yeah, but Thanos, he's definitely a representation of pretty much the Grim Reaper himself, straight up. Because Thanos, yeah, him being a harbinger of death and whatnot, to show you in Marvel Comics when he initially got the Infinity Gems and the Gauntlet itself, he wanted to impress Mistress Death whenever she incarnates in a physical form, but because she was not really impressed by his fascination with her, what he did in order to try to win her affection, he wiped out half the life of the universe just so that he could make that point that he would do pretty much anything to please her, even though death in and of itself, as we know it, especially regarding to this physical realm, is nothing more than an abstract concept of a greater reality, a greater fact that you've only come into this world to experience as much as you can experience. Because the reality of it all is, us greater multidimensional spiritual beings, we weren't supposed to reincarnate over and over and over again in this bitch. We were literally supposed to come, live as long as we can just to gain as much experience as we can. And once we've gained all the necessary experiences, because each of us is different, not one of our journeys is the same, the path that we take is not the same. That's the kind of uniformity lie nonsense that religion has fooled us with, that we need to come out of. Because it would be foolish to think that Brandon's path is the same as mine, my path is the same as Dr. Mumbi, Dr. Mumbi's is the same as Real Merkaba is the same as Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic. Oh, Brother Panic, he already left this motherfucker, so he good. C. Freeman L, he already left this motherfucker. James Earl Jones, geez, these brothers got me jealous. They be leaving this motherfucker, they be leaving me behind, my brother. Jeez. Jeez, they be leaving me behind. But either way, bro, our moment will come. Our moment will come. We just gotta fucking continue to run that marathon and whatnot. But yeah, to add with the Marvel Comics mythology and whatnot, that just goes to show you within these comic books and these forms of entertainment, they literally just take from our mythologies, from our stories, which are pretty much eternal, which are pretty much they last every generation pretty much. These mythologies, they're undying. They speak to the true self. They really speak to the true being. It's no wonder why characters like Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, the Avengers, the X-Men, they stand the test of time because they are modern mythological characters based off of our ancient mythological characters. But either way, bro, yeah, take it away and yeah, let the people know what it is before we get into, I guess, however many notes that you've already written down. So yeah, take it away, host.
Okay, yeah, and definitely keep on in that marathon because people think it's a sprint, especially like when they first start this spiritual journey, people think, oh yeah, I just know some basic information about spirituality, or I'm so awakened. I've done the work and everything like that. But then as you keep going deeper and keep going down these rabbit holes, you realize, oh wait, those shadow work, oh wait, those healing. Oh wait, there was spiritual warfare and all this other stuff. So like it all depends on how far someone really wants to take it. But
I mean,
definitely
and not just that too, bro. To add to that, as we've already spoken about, the many different forms of entertainment, comic books, novels, TV shows, cartoon shows, movies, that all have the truth hidden in plain sight. When you realize that your bloodkin, your coworkers and whatnot, you're just dealing with all these silly ass human individuals who really and truly, it's about time that you probably received a new change of environment just so that you could literally continue to expand your mind. Because honestly, staying within the same environment is definitely not healthy and not beneficial to you who is on a journey in this fucking place. I mean, within mythology, they call it the hero's journey for a reason, right? They didn't call it the hero's stagnant, staying in one place all the time, right? Right? I mean, yeah, you just gotta see it for what it is. And that's not even counting like getting into the many books that speak about the many different subjects regarding spirituality, be it you're talking about Alvin Boyd Kuhn's The Lost Light, you're talking about Gerald Massey and all of his volumes of books, whether you're talking about Elena Blavatsky, whether you're talking about Aleister Crowley. Yeah, I know some of these names sound pretty bizarre and whatnot, but that's only because you were taught to stay away from these things. But ask yourself, what does the motherfucking Vatican themselves have any business of hiding miles and miles of books and scrolls and papyruses, information on top of information that could last generations and generations? Why do they have these hidden within their goddamn libraries? Huh? Why are they hidden? Why wouldn't you want to share this with the public? What's so secret that the average Joe can't possibly come to realize based off of whatever realization that they come to within themselves, having to read any of these books and scrolls and papyruses? I mean to say, Brandon, there's just so much a single individual can get into, but bro, I'm telling you, it's not a sprint. It's definitely a fucking marathon because, bro, knowledge is infinite. And once again, our paths are different. We may come to a crossroads here and there, but that does not mean to say that I have to walk on that same path as you because your path is specifically for you to conquer and overcome. My path is for me to conquer and overcome. But I mean, hey, bro, either people know this or they have to come to this realization. No other way around it.
Oh yeah, that's facts because that even ties in with like jealousy and envy and all these other like, background characters and NPCs, what they all that other stuff because it's like they get jealous over someone else's like life, quote unquote life, but they don't realize everyone else has their own journey that they have to fulfill. But we're all students and teachers, so if you're not spreading the knowledge, then I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? But the new environment for new experiences will definitely help you along the journey because keep interacting with, if we keep interacting with the same BS toxic people, uh, like that's probably why we keep coming down here because we're just not satisfied or fulfilled in this physical realm yet because we just have gone through so many like quote unquote bad experiences or we went through so much bad that we just like became numb to it. So now we're just like here trying to like continue this marathon until we finally reach the finish line, which we know is gonna happen because they're already manifesting in the spiritual, but now it's just trying to enter into the physical and all realities and everything like that because we're the real coders of the system and we already pre-programmed what we want to experience in this realm, especially if you pre-program what you want to experience after you leave your physical body as well. So focus on what you want to experience and what you're trying to manifest because that will eventually lead you to enter into that reality. But death is definitely a divine feminine, even though they picture men as being quote unquote killers, but it's just liberating your physical body.
Not
Uh,
liberating your true self, the true being. Liberating, yeah, you're liberating your true being, the true higher energy, multidimensional spiritual being from this, yeah, lower limited physical. I don't know even know what to call it at this point, but you get what it is I'm saying, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Because it's like it makes no sense to keep reincarnating into this physical realm, and yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And people are so messed up in their minds. Natural hair and natural skin is way better than that plastic stuff. People, eh, it's all an illusion anyway. This physical
You know,
body is just, oh yeah,
mhm. Yeah, and bro, just to really add to that part right there, and you may continue. Please hold that thought. Remember what you were gonna say. But yeah, I don't care what so-called race or group a woman may be from. Ladies, please, you're gorgeous just as you naturally are. No need to add Botox or plastic or any bullshit like that to make yourself look quote unquote beautiful. Because true beauty, especially where women are concerned, comes from within. As your true beauty is cultivated and it's worked upon daily, and you continue to elevate yourself from within daily, you naturally shine that radiant bright light in which you naturally attract. But be careful for predators, because remember, predators are always lurking around looking to get an opportunity to freaking devour you, like a wolf would devour a sheep, or a lion would devour a freaking gazelle or whatever. But yeah, uh, your true beauty comes from your inner world, your inner goddess. Y'all are already gorgeous as it is. It's just, yeah, not every woman comes to the true full potential of her beauty. But I mean to say, y'all definitely don't need to put all this Botox and plastic within your physical bodies. You're already gorgeous as it is. Please, like, do your best to try cut that out, because no need to try to look like a freaking deformed Barbie doll just to try to make others' ego continue to inflate more. This is about you. You do what's best for you. But yeah, just had to literally put that out there, bro, because yeah, if people can start to do a lot better on the physical level, then they'll realize, hey, there's a lot more to be done. And that is only where the mind and the higher spiritual realms go. Take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, that's big facts with that one because the physical body is already an illusion. So if you get more things to quote unquote elevate your physical body, you just become even more of a hologram. So people already think it's real seeing all this AI and Chat GPT and all these videos with AI and music and everything like that, but they don't even realize they're interacting with bots every single day with people that they interact with. But at the end of the day, people really just trying to avoid quote unquote old age. And I know that's one of the topics about old age.
Old age. That's the first note right there, right, bro?
Yeah, we can start with that one.
Yeah. Well, bro, we'll try to make it quick, fast, and simple. Yeah, we'll definitely try to not dwell too much on a particular topic, but at least how I see it, when I look at well, okay, James Earl Jones, but remember, James Earl Jones, he grew up in an era where, yeah, well, do remember that it always starts with the individual, and he definitely made things happen for himself. So big shout out to him. I think he was what, 93? So yeah, but bro, B, DoubleB, Brandon Bass, I be absolutely 100% honest with you, bro. James Earl Jones was 93 and he definitely reached a milestone. Like, yeah, that brother did what he had to do. May he definitely be in a better place from now. Big shout out to James Earl Jones. But, bro, if I could literally fucking leave this world, switch the numbers around 39, bro, if I could fucking leave at the age of 39, I'd be good. So my physical body literally just made 33, big number 33. So yeah, this is the part of my experience where I should really start taking my spirituality and elevating back to my true self a lot more serious, because my 20s, fuck my 20s. Straight up. I don't even want to talk about my high school days. Fuck that shit. None of that shit is even worthy of talking about. Let's just say, when I look at it, especially looking back, yeah, I'm glad I went through all those experiences just to remind me of how absolute dog shit and rubbish this fucking physical realm can be. Not that it is, but humans as a whole, bro, you know how we've spoken about humanity in the past and whatnot, about how humanity should try to become better and whatnot. Bro, I have reached the realization, I've come to the realization that, yeah, humanity, forget it. They're a lost cause. It's only about the true few elect who came down here to make the fucking difference. to literally manifest and materialize and create the newer realms to bring them down here. Bro, humanity, as you already perfectly said, yeah, the masses, they're only good for one fucking thing, getting slaughtered, going to the slaughterhouse. There's no need for us to even waste our time with the fucking masses. These lives that we be doing are literally for those whose spiritual eyes and ears are open to the point where they're able to see and hear the message for what it is. We're not wasting our time with those who want to argue about religion and Jesus is God and Allah and all that stupid shit. Nah, we've grown past that, my brother. Your humanity is exactly what's gonna fucking keep you back. Like what Brother Panic said, and it makes so much sense the more you stop and think about it. He who is a great human is a terrible God. And that makes fucking sense. Why should I care about being something which I only came to have a temporary experience? It's just like when I'm reading this one particular book right now, whenever I get the opportunity to read it. The Jewish Encyclopedia of Myths and Legends or something like that. But essentially, when you look at when you go into the D section, or I think it was the E section, one of them, you go into divine punishment. Yeah, divine punishment or eternal. I don't think I read eternal damnation, but I think something along the lines of divine punishment. Okay, so let me get this straight. And really hold me to this, Brandon. So based off of these Abrahamic religions, God, who is supposed to be an eternal being, your soul, which is a fire, which came from God, because the book of Genesis did say, and God breathed the breath of life into man and he became a living soul, right? That's what their Bible quotes, right? I'm just quoting from your fucking Bible. Well, not you, bro, but I mean, you get what it is I'm saying. So if, yes, Brandon, so um, God is going to punish me for all eternity based off of an a temporary experience? What kind of a fucking psychopathic God do these religious people worship? I mean, for fuck's sake, I would really more be quicker to accept the judgment. I mean, the doctrine of, oh, after this physical life, everything is over. At least maybe then you and I could experience the dreamless sleep a lot better and quicker and right there on the spot. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean, eternal fucking damnation. You need not look further than Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr.'s 1998 movie, which was based off of a book, What Dreams May Come. Like literally, the so-called afterlife, which is actually the realm beyond this one. I mean, even if you were to experience the astral realm, which Freddy Krueger, and I need to touch on that topic, I'm gonna definitely get there, regarding old age and whatnot. So in that movie, they show you that, yeah, the afterlife is literally what you make of it. Because I remember in the 1995 movie, and you could go back and watch that movie because of what a good movie it is, Tales from the Hood. This one particular political activist, he got murdered by these crooked cops, these crooked racist ass cops. And to make a long story short, whoever it was in the movie, we don't know who it was, but he had a mural of himself like in an alley somewhere. And I kid you not, Brandon, the metaphysics in that is so amazing, especially when we like make it full circle with this spiritual knowledge and these realizations. Martin Morehouse, as the political activist was called in the movie, played by Tom Wright, the great Tom Wright. He contacted Clarence, who was the officer who could have helped him that very same night. I don't want to spoil the movie's plot, but yeah, you could go back and watch 1995's Tales from the Hood. Really good movie. And that's the first story. It's an anthology movie. Essentially, it has 4 different stories, and it centers 3 young drug dealers who try to recover stolen drugs from a rather bizarre funeral home director played by the late great Clarence Williams III. But bro, Martin Morehouse was contacting Clarence from beyond the fucking graffiti. Bro, this was 1995, and they literally showed you the afterlife is literally what you fucking make it. What you call hell is literally what you allowed a motherfucker to put into your mind and you ultimately create for yourself. What you call hell is nothing more than the bullshit experience that you experience based off of where your mind was when you left this physical body. Straight up. And when in regards to what you mentioned before about death is definitely a divine feminine process. But when you look at characters like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, lead Cenobite from the Hellraiser movies, Michael Myers, who I already explained with you. Michael Myers, look at the boiler suit he's wearing, the fucking pale ass mask that he's wearing, the fucking knife that he be walking around with. Michael Myers is literally the Grim Reaper, Kronos, straight up. And you got Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I mean, bro, these are all nothing more than manifestations of the great divine feminine. In India, you know her as Kali. In ancient Egypt, you know her as Aset or Nebdet, depending on which sect that you go to. But either way, in ancient Egypt, they already touched it. In ancient Greece, I believe it was Aphrodite when she took up her crone phase. Either Aphrodite or Athena, but Aphrodite definitely had different phases to her as well. But bro, that just goes to fucking show you. Essentially, all I mean to say, bro, when it comes to old age, fuck old age. James Earl Jones, he did his part. But I'd rather go out like Kobe Bryant if I fucking had to, my brother. For real. Fuck this physical body. I just, bro, why would I want to continue to experience the same eat, shit, drink, sleep, work, repeat, eat, shit, drink, sleep, work, repeat, eat, shit, drink, sleep, work, repeat bullshit over and Brandon, that is if that's not fucking uh they say insanity, but I have to call it out sanity because you're out of your fucking sanity. You're out of your mind. You have to be out of your fucking mind to want to experience that same bullshit hamster wheel cycle over and over and over again without wanting massive fucking changes. But hey, I guess it was what you call him? What's that gentleman's name? Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain. I think it was Mark Twain who quoted uh, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting new results is the definition of what you call crazy. They say insanity, but once again, for you to be insane, you have to be in your sanity. So insane has to literally be a good thing. But then again, the English language as we speak it today is literally just so fucked up and it probably needs a whole new makeover if we're being honest with ourselves. But bro, yeah, to make a long story, to make a long answer short, fuck old age. Especially for us multidimensional spiritual beings, really stop and think about it. Michael Jackson, he didn't really live to a super old age. Tupac didn't live to an old age. Bob Marley didn't live on to an old age. But guess what? Each and every one of these individuals were Christ figures in their own right. They were letting the people of their generation know what it was that was going on and what it is that they needed to do in order to start making serious changes within their own individual lives. It's only when you make changes to your own self that's when you start to see the environment around you really start to change, be it people being influenced by your bright light and that they want to make their own light shine, or yeah, your environment itself, you literally start to experience new environments and stuff like that. But yeah, Dr. Bass, that's the answer that I have to give. Fuck old age, straight up. Die young and experience as much as you can within a short period of time. Because this physical body ain't worth going through all that fucking misery of aches and pains and my bunions or having to take out your fucking teeth just like those old people. Nah, man, bro, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, my brother. It to me personally, hey, each and every motherfucker watching this live, whenever they do get to watch this live, they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's your experience. It's your quote unquote life within this bitch. Do as you please. But for me personally, 36 or 39, yeah, would have to be the limit for me. I don't even want to fucking see 40. Straight up. I think Kobe was 40, but I don't even want to fucking see 40, my brother. Within the next few cycles, I'd want to be out of this bitch. For real, for real. Fuck this shit. I would rather try to break that world record or that universal record for paddleball or tabletop basketball. Big shout out for you to you on that one, Brandon. For real, for real.
Well, yeah, for real, like true self speaking with that one, no cap. But This AO in this season for like the past few cycles, people just have been like so sensitive, but back then people really didn't care, so that's why they got the chance to put out like all those like really deep message like movies because like people really didn't care back then. And then it's all how we view it. So that's why they want people to be so attached to the physical world because if you're in love with this physical realm, you just want to keep experiencing it. And that's why they keep reincarnating because like because if we manifest the what we want to experience after this physical world, if people think this is their only life, quote unquote life, then they're just gonna keep trying to manifest them being a human. So that's why they just keep coming back down here. And then if people love being human and think humans are superior, then they haven't awakened yet. Thinking this realm is paradise. Uh we just I got nothing to say about that joint, but we aren't experiencing this anyways, because the ego is fake. The ego is the only thing that experiencing this human experience. Personality isn't us. And that's why everyone says have an ego death, because at the end of the day, our true selves isn't experiencing any of this. It's just the ego that we kind of created, all the illusions just to create to act like this is real, but it's really not real.
I mean, yeah, and literally speaking, bro, nothing more needs to be said. Nothing more needs to be said in that regard for real because yeah, you just pretty much laid it out right there for real. Have an ego death. And if people don't comprehend what it is we mean by have an ego death, go back and watch Jason Statham's 2005 movie Revolver. Oh, you know I'm always gonna recommend that movie. Big shout out to Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic on that one. But Brother Panic was the first individual I heard to recommend that movie, and Bobby Hemmett did mention it when I listened to a particular video where he was having a live with Miss Blue, I think it was. But yeah, Revolver, bro. Jason Statham, Andre 3000, Ray Liotta, Vincent Pastore. Man, I recommend that movie to anybody who wants to get a good comprehension of ego death and, yeah, having to overcome that lower animalistic nature, which this physical body always in conjunction with the mind tries to override our true higher spiritual nature. Oh, Revolver, that's definitely a movie to watch because the metaphysics in that movie, huh, man, Guy Ritchie, the director of that movie, you know he definitely had some knowledge of the occult having to make a movie like that, straight up. But yeah, for people to literally think this is paradise, they have not used their imagination. They have not come to the realization that just by what you're able to create in your imagination can be far better than any fucking place that you could visit here on this earth. And there are definitely places here on this earth that you could visit that do come off as paradise like. But let's be real, this is all a fucking illusion. Even nature itself, which is the number one provider, which we should really be in more communication with and whatnot. Even nature itself is just part of the illusion as well. But at the very least, nature knows how to balance things out. Whereas with these humanoids and these assholes here on the surface of this fucking realm, yeah, these motherfuckers, well, if I simply have to quote Isis Wisdom herself, there's a lot of beings in this realm right now, particularly those who are incarnated in physical bodies, who have no business of being here right now. Like, for real, where the hell are Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and all of them to literally just clean this fucking mess up in regards to humanity? You know what I mean? And I don't give a shit what the hell motherfuckers gotta say, because this is a realization that I've personally come to myself, my brother. What if a particular scenario, just like Will Smith's I Am Legend movie, which was based off of a book? I believe they had two movies back in the day. that were even released long before that movie, explaining that scenario. What if that scenario had to fucking manifest like later tonight or tomorrow? Who gives a fuck about your job or freaking banks or taxes and any of that fucking stupid shit, which is all really, really part of the fucking Matrix, which, yeah, Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and all of them, like, yeah, the Matrix movies, you simply need to go back and watch The Matrix as a documentary as it truly is, because those movies were just letting you know, yo, this shit is all fake. This system is all fake. None of this shit is fucking real. Don't even get me started about the ego and the name on your birth certificate and ID card and all that stupid shit. Why the fuck do I even need a passport or a birth certificate to begin with anyway? Did I not just come here for a fucking temporary experience? I ain't looking to stick up me, especially with the realization I've come to and I continue to come to in regards to this realm. Why the fuck would I even want to continue to why would I even want to live? I mean, quote unquote live to see tomorrow. You know what I mean? But bro, this is all stuff people need to come to the realization of themselves. They need to come to this realization themselves. I'm speaking based off of my experience. And we've already spoken, you and I. We've spoken before. This physical realm didn't have to be shitty. It didn't have to be fucked up. It really didn't have to be. But with this mess called humanity, that's spreading like a plague, that's spreading like a goddamn virus. Honestly, where the hell is Sutter Kane to for freaking unleash the great old ones to literally just come back and take over this motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like the true few elect me to wake up and put an end to this shit once and for all for good, because bro, this physical realm, this, as we've said before, maybe in the very beginning this experience might have been the shit, but now, as we've already said, it's just shit, my brother. It's just fucking shit. Take it away as we go into the next the next question, bro. For real, for real.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just like capping it off with that one is like all of this is just a temporary experience with temporary people. So that's why it's so important to, to not get too attached to any of this, because it's not even real, and it'll probably will be way better to experience that I Am Legend thing instead of this joint right here. I'm gonna be honest, because just imagine, like, that's a real good experience that you can tell people about. But what are we gonna tell people in the spiritual realm? Oh yeah, we just eat, drink, shit, pee, and all this other stuff. But I Am Legend, that's a whole different other experience. But yeah, the past is non-existent. It's just a learning lesson. All we have is the present moment. Leave this realm at an early age. Do what you need to do and try to accomplish as much as you can until your heart is lighter than a feather, and then leave this realm. And it's been
And
out
you
of
know,
control.
bro,
Oh yeah.
yeah, continue, my brother. I'll get to what it is I want to say. Continue.
Oh yeah. And then it's been out of control. They were gonna fall anyways. Do you wanna, and then the question is, do you wanna fall with them or not? And then we just have to speak it into existence. But you can go ahead.
Well, literally speaking, bro, as you already said, but we've spoken about it several times already. The past is non-existent, and you need to read Eckhart Tolle's book, uh, "Practicing the Power of Now." Like for real, the now is all that you ever have. That doesn't mean that you can't prepare for the future, but really stop and think about it. The future doesn't exist. The future doesn't fucking exist. It's nothing more than an educated guess. You can't know what's going to happen later. You can't know what's going to happen so-called tomorrow or 2 weeks from now or a year from now or 5 years from now. Like, I don't even want to fucking be around to see 5 years from now. So you already know how I feel about that shit. But I mean to say, yeah, the past, oh, like you shared with me months ago, but it wasn't too long ago. When the past comes ringing, don't pick up the call because it has nothing new to say. The past has nothing new to say whatsoever. And Honestly, bro, it's especially in regards to those who are fans of NBA basketball and its history and whatnot. The more I really stop and think about it, Kobe Bryant was definitely my Michael Jordan, if you know what I mean. I literally watched this man struggle. I watched this man rise. I watched this man go through everything. Straight up. He dominated, he lost, he won, he got injured. He fought through those injuries. Man, Kobe Bryant, that was definitely my generation's Michael Jordan. And the news of his death really, really, really hit fucking hard. And think about it. It segued perfectly into the stupid 19 season, which was a fuckfest in and of itself, which will definitely go down as one of the biggest, if not the biggest psyop in human history, period. I mean, like, seriously, looking back, Brandon, what the fuck was that all about, man? But Kobe, considering that he was a member of a particular secret society, I don't know if it's because he received visions or whatever. I do not know. I just don't fucking know. But Kobe, he definitely left at the right time. It's like Kobe's death literally was the transitioning into the new era. Like, fuck COVID. People want to talk about COVID, but it was really Kobe Bryant's death. Think about it, bro. It was a big fucking deal because it segued into that shit. Bro, I'm telling you, Kobe, and the fact that he left, he did everything that he had to do. He accomplished everything that he had to accomplish, and he left this realm. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, he definitely did what he had to do. There's nothing more you need to say about Kobe. I guess maybe he could have gone out. Well, truth be told, leaving your physical body, if you really think about it, death in and of itself, based off of this physical realm, it's an ugly thing. Whether you die of cancer, whether you fucking get grinded by a fucking what you call it, what do you call those, a rock crusher or whatever, whether you got hit by a freaking trailer truck, whether you got I don't know, you died from an infection or some fuck, it's ugly. Death is always going to be ugly in this physical realm, no matter whether you got hacked and slashed by Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. It doesn't matter. Leaving this fucking physical body is the ultimate goal. But to add to that, having to come to the realization of what this physical realm is in conjunction with the higher spiritual realms and that which you truly are in your true self, that's what the realization you need to come to, especially when talking about being ready to create your own universe beyond this physical realm and whatnot. Like, it's deep, 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 deep stuff. I myself cannot possibly have the honors to really explain, but you have a lot of fucking books and a lot of individuals out there that do a way better job going into this than I ever could. All I have to say is, Brandon, yeah, the past definitely isn't going to help. You can prepare for the future, but you only always live in the now. So, yeah, Kobe, like, literally, let Kobe Bryant be a good example to you. Experience as much as you can within a particular period and look back with absolute satisfaction. I'm satisfied. Hard as light, no, lighter than a feather. Moving on, straight up. Brandon, I've got nothing more to say. When I tell you no comment, bro, no comment. Even though, yeah, I've already literally given a lot there, but you get what it is I'm saying, bro. There's nothing much more to say, my brother. Straight up. People need to come to this realization themselves. I ain't any of these pastors or preachers up in this fucking pulpit preaching the same stupid shit. I'm not going to preach prosperity gospel because, much like Bobby Hemmett, I fucking hate the fiat currency system. What the fuck is all that about? What the hell is all that stupid shit about? Sure, I mean, I could get $1 million. Sure, maybe I could get 10 million, 30 million, 300 million. That'd be cool. But ultimately, is it going to help me to get back to my true self? Is it going to help me to warp reality? Is it going to help me to, I don't know, destroy universes? Is it going to help me to travel from one end of the universe to another? No? Then what the fuck is the point? But all I have to say is, bro, once again, people need to come to the realization for themselves, because me, myself, I'm just doing the work for myself so that I can look back in complete satisfaction and be like, I did what I had to do. Now fuck this fucking realm. Paddleball, here I come. For real, my brother, for real. Yeah, Brandon. So yeah, take it away, bro. I don't know how many more questions we have left because there are a few videos that I would like us to share with the people who may be watching this and whatnot. So yeah, take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, I'll just probably just go through all of them, and then you can just stop me in between if you have something. But
Mhm.
Kobe definitely left at the right time. Michael Jordan got rich off his shoes, but Kobe got rich by the NBA with his pure talent. Living this realm by an epic experience sounds way more exciting than being in a hospital as an old person. I'm just being honest. But then you have the uh oh yeah, and then you got people asking, well, would you see yourself in like 5 years and everything like that? Like in my head, I'm like, I'm not even trying to be in this realm, no cap. But and then there was some analogies because of that SpongeBob episode with Wadjul, Mrs. Puff. Oh
Yo,
yeah,
let me get into that one. No, you could just
oh yeah,
stop right
yeah,
there, bro. You could just stop right there. Roger, I find it to be absolutely weird that a freaking cartoon show about sea creatures would literally have a freaking chicken
yeah.
would have a freaking chicken egg in a freaking driving class. What the fuck does a chicken egg possibly have to do with a driving class, my brother? But you definitely give your take on it, bro, because you were the one who came up with that, with at least with that revelation that your true self saw. Because I could not have come up with a better fucking answer like you did. You take it away, my brother, because you're the one who definitely deserves the credit for that answer that you gave on that one for real. Because it's the deeper spiritual symbology behind that fucking episode is what you should really look at for real. Take it away, Brandon.
Oh yeah, big facts. So like with that whole episode, we can view it as like Mrs. Puff was Source, SpongeBob and Patrick was all like the all true selves and all spirit guides. Roger the Egg is us that never came down here, like who never came back because remember like with Roger, he never came back to another episode ever again. So
He was
it's
just
like
a one. He was just a one-hit wonder. He only appeared in that one episode. After that, was never seen again. I mean, what was the point of even having him there if he was just gonna be a one-hit wonder? You know what I mean? I mean, especially when looking back, it's really fucking weird. But yeah, bro. Yeah, it just is what it is. But your explanation of it definitely makes a whole lot more sense than just looking at the episode for the sheer stupidity that SpongeBob episodes usually always display. So yeah, big shout out to you on that one, bro.
oh yeah, and then the underwater is like this realm because we feel out of place and different, and then the tube is like our physical body, which is kind of like a prison for us. But another analogy is the bread analogy about preparing it, putting it in the oven. Don't open up the oven door until the timer is ready because the timer will call and you will answer it, so you don't have to try to force it or anything like that. They got factories pumping out the same beings who look at and feel the same, and it's pretty much just cloning at its finest.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, on that one, bro. If I could perfectly remember and remember the Star Wars movies, Attack of the Clones and whatnot. In the Star Wars movie, they show in the movies in Star Wars they show you how cloning is a lot more easy and a lot more simplified than I guess when they and by the way, all these motherfuckers who be doing this shit in real life, these motherfuckers definitely receive their knowledge and whatnot from higher advanced extraterrestrial beings. Because these humanoids are not that smart in and of themselves. We know that to be a fact. So they definitely don't need credit about, oh, because think about it. If these humanoids were created in caves, they were genetically modified by melanated people in that sense, bro. How is it that they literally got up, created their own civilizations and whatnot in what seems to be a very short period of time? If that's the case, then they deserve way more fucking credit than we bother giving them. But the reality of it all is, And then you have these scientists out here want to say, oh, I want to ask these bullshit questions. Are we alone in the universe? No, motherfuckers, we're not even alone in this universe, because you and I are a perfect example of beings who came from elsewhere in the universe just to have this bullshit physical experience. These human bodies are nothing but suits. They're nothing but vehicles that we drive around. They're suit vehicles that we drive around to have this physical experience. We're not even from this fucking place, my brother. Earth, Tiamat, Kai, whatever you want to call it, is nothing more than an experience ground. It's something like a school, but it's more of a processing ground in which you have to go through all the pressure and whatnot. You had best said it, bro. Like, to go through the processes of a diamond, the exact descriptions as you gave it, bro.
Oh yeah, I think I was saying what prepared, threshold, and I think something like that. I have to check.
Well, either way, you have to go through the pressure as a precious mineral, as a precious stone, in order to come out a beautiful gem. Straight up. You have to go through all that pressure, because remember, you got to go through the shadow work in order to come out generator, operator, destroyer, God. Straight up. And with the whole bread analogy, time in and of itself is an illusion. It's not real. But you really have to be sure that, you never want to rush the process, because if you do rush the process, then it definitely, the result always comes out ugly. Think about it. You go driving with the car on the road, you never think about it. You never go looking for an accident, but an accident still somehow manages to find you anyway. So that just goes to show you the whole polarity and rhythm and bullshit of all this, of this physical realm. Especially in this realm, it's all jank and slow and stupid, and honestly, not much more needs to be said right there. But you get what it is I'm saying, bro. But essentially speaking, with the clones and whatnot. Oh, Bobby Hemmett been talking about how a lot of these churches and whatnot are cloning centers, and Adolf Hitler and them back in the 1940s, they had already started to perfect cloning. So you have a lot of these melanated people out here. We can remember melanated people were the last bastion that they could not quite get to when it came to cloning, but they realized, based off of what Bobby Hemmett had already studied, what he had already researched, you have to isolate the melanin in order for you to really start cloning the genes and whatnot. Like, deep fucking stuff. But hey, just watch the Star Wars movies, and there's even a movie, Gattaca, from Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman from back in 1997, I think it was, where they could literally just take your genes to literally modify different parts of your body and whatnot. So you don't even really need Botox and plastic surgery and any of that shit. They could literally take your genes and modify your body in such a way that you could literally end up looking better than how you were already born with your physical body. Bro, these fucking movies be putting this shit out here from since day one. And I don't know how is it that motherfuckers still only be looking at these movies for entertainment. Like, straight up, my brother. But yo, bro, I don't know how many more questions we have left, but take it away, because yo, bro, I'm telling you, I am only doing my part. But please do yourself the favor, do the research, and see for yourself whether this resonates with you or not, because I don't care whether this resonates with you or not. I'm putting in the work so that I can look back and be like, Brandon, thank you so much for the opportunity. True self, I literally did the work. Like, for real. Fuck this shit. Definitely. Take it away, Brandon.
Oh yeah, facts. With like, I even saw a video where you can take some of your forehead and put it as like a new nose and everything like that. So plastic surgery is just, I don't know, I got nothing to say about that. But for the diamonds, it was pressed, refined, and structured. Like how he said, the heart is the toolbox and the mind is the tool. This is only a temporary stop instead of a permanent destination, and we should be experiencing dreamless sleep, because if Source is definitely not experiencing this. So why if we're parts of Source, we should not be experiencing this as well? For the coming back down here, truthfully, if you haven't fulfilled everything that you needed down here, and we keep coming down here, maybe we're supposed to do it on a massive scale and reach more people. Skip that. The masses is the beginning, has a beginning, middle, and end, and the Goon Squad just has to take them out already. I know we kind of already touched on the 7 pillars already. So like with that, just don't let your blood kin influence you or project onto you, because they're just trying to keep you stuck and stagnant with them, because they just be
Look,
craving
bro,
their
I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I'm not to cut you off.
yeah.
I'm gonna be straight up, right? If the bloodkin were to do everything that they could to literally elevate spiritually as well, hey, I'm all for it. We share blood. You get what I'm saying? I know you motherfuckers better than most motherfuckers who I interact with on a daily basis. I've lived with you motherfuckers for who, like, honestly, they if you were to look at the Gregorian calendar as a whole, ask yourself, so if this bullshit calendar that they gave us is wrong, the time is all off and whatnot, why the fuck do we continue to follow something that is fake? Like what the great Kalai Mayat Amun Ra himself said. From time a motherfucker got you on his calendar, he already got you right where he wants you. So the Gregorian calendar is nothing but bullshit. Why the fuck are we even still following it? For all we know, we're probably already in the year 2045 or some fuck. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe we're even still in the 1980s for all we know, my brother. I don't fucking know. It's all a lie. None of it is real. But if the bloodkin were to want to walk, well, in a sense, walk side by side with us on this journey to elevate and grow and literally make it up out of this bitch, cool, fine. I got no problem with that. But the reality of it all is, it's your fucking experience. You just have to analyze and observe everything based off of how it resonates, how it all comes back to you, because it's your experience after all. Sure, the universe may not revolve around you, but you are a creator of your own personal experience. So you're just gonna have to find a way to fucking balance that out, because, bro, I'm telling you, you want to do yourself no greater favor than to elevate spiritually and get the fuck up out of this bitch. Straight up. The sooner you could elevate, the quicker you can get the fuck up out of this place. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. For real, for real. So yeah, take it away, bro. And yeah, if anything, I don't know how many more questions we have left, but yeah, if anything, we could just go through the videos that I shared, maybe just the first few minutes of each video. Yeah, just so people could check out those channels themselves. I mean, yeah, take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, I'll do the videos and then I'll say the other ones for before we end.
Or you could do them now. You could do them now. It's not a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, really. It's just, yeah, whatever questions you have, yeah, let's just get them out of the way.
Oh yeah, so it's the universe, not the universe, if you get what I'm trying to put down. Brainwashing at its key is all about the message, not the messenger. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Even when we're operating on a high frequency, they say you'll attract more, but in this system, society, environment, etc., you still keep experiencing those same BS. If we're not in these human bodies right now, we won't. Oh yeah, we already talked about that one.
Well, to add to that, bro, to add to that part, and I'm glad you mentioned it. The great Bobby Hemmett already mentioned about how quite often, especially when you get into consciousness and you continue to elevate your mind, you continue to realize that, yeah, this illusionary physical experience, like, you're totally over it. Like, you really start to see it for what it is. And then there are just times where you realize shit just doesn't go your way. That's because, as Bobby himself already came to the realization himself, your true self is literally doing that so that you can constantly be reminded, yo, I don't want to continue to experience this fucking bullshit. I don't want to continue to have to go through this over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So remember, because remember, Sister Myra Ross, big shout out to that lovely sister. Just like how your true self would always guide you and protect you from getting into some incident that's just gonna fuck you over, and yeah, that's just gonna yeah, be detrimental to you and whatnot. Yeah, it's the same way. There are just situations your true self allows you to go through, because the reality of it all is, bro, this is not our realm, this is not our home. The great brother Panic already told us that this is not our realm, this is not our home. He's simply only quoting from mythology itself, just like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which, if I'm not mistaken, that part where I don't know if you watched the movie and recall, bro, but Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka let, was it Charlie or somebody else? He built a chocolate house or a castle or something like that, and he told them, "See this house I built here? Whatever you do, don't live in it." It's just like in the Hindu mythology where Shiva told Hanuman, "See this castle I built right here? Whatever you do, don't live in it, because it's all just a temporary phase." Just like Big Wolf on campus, it's just a phase I'm going through. It's just a temporary experience. It's the experience that you want to take, alchemize, and literally make yourself elevate and become a greater being than what you were before. Always. But yeah, bro, yeah, take it away, and yeah, on to the next question if there are any more.
Oh yeah, and oh yeah, I think I already said that one. Oh yeah. So people are chasing after a high for that temporary feeling, experience this realm to appreciate the higher realms, being
Oh, nah,
possessed.
you take
Oh
that
yeah.
one. You take
Oh
this
yeah.
one, my brother.
Yeah.
You take this one. You know you got things to say. I ain't got nothing to say on that one. But all I do have to say is, yeah, even amongst the humanoids and whatnot, why they love sex, why they love drugs. This is all stuff that Aleister Crowley himself, who was an occultist, was very interested in, because he knew that this stuff could literally help you to even just momentarily experience the higher realms. Because just for you to want to experience that temporary high, that temporary, even like video game and whatnot, you want to get that temporary escape watching a movie or something like that. It's because the regular everyday experience of this bullshit physical system, the system in and of itself, I won't even say Earth in and of itself, because you're supposed to experience just about every fucking end of this world as you're supposed to. But because of this bullshit passports and birth certificates and documents and all that stupid fucking shit, oh, I swear, these fucking bitches who run this system, why can't they just get wiped the fuck out right on the spot? But either way, it's going to happen, bro. And the true few elect have to wake the fuck up. Have to wake the fuck up in order to make that happen. Until then, we just got to do our part and, yeah, elevate ourselves. Because magic is all about elevating yourself back to your true self and higher. Because why not? But people are chasing that temporary high. That just really shows that this fucking physical realm ain't shit. Why am I experiencing that temporary ecstasy? That feeling of when you literally jizz on a woman, when you jizz inside of her, you literally get that high. You literally experience higher dimensions within that very brief moment of time. I mean to say, like, seriously, just how full of shit is this fucking physical realm? Seriously. And I'm not even talking about spiritual people who be experiencing this stuff. I'm talking about regular animal level root chakra humanoids, bro, who be chasing that temporary high. But bro, you're definitely the you're definitely the one to best explain it. Take it away, Brandon. Take it away, Dr. Bass.
Oh yeah, with like that chasing the temporary high, because like every day like this system is so messed up that the only way you can experience that temporary high is, or those high frequencies is really if you have those temporary experiences, because we all know with this physical realm, it's all about balance, and it's all about different um it's all about like the different balancing acts between both of them. So it's like uh you can't always be in a high vibration, or you can't always be in a low vibration. Those are different like cycles. So it's like you just with this realm, it's just like, so I don't know, this realm is just weird, but being possessed and mind controlled, they're just open vessels that these these beings feed off of. They're just look at like heavy drinkers. They're just willingly giving away free reign for these random beings to enter into those vessels. And this English language is only for this physical realm, but in the spiritual we have telepathic and all this other psychic abilities. So like when you really think about it, like this physical world is just so limiting, it's so trash, it's just at this point it's just garbage at this point. But the last thing was science behind Yeshua, simply the science of mastering the heart chakra, melanin center. But that's what Jesus how about you?
Ah, yes, Yeshua. A very interesting character, especially in regards to spirituality and whatnot, huh? But you know what? If you really start to see the science behind Yeshua, you need to look at those pictures. Heck, even in the movie Dogma. Go back and watch the movie Dogma. Dogma? Yeah. Go back and watch the movie Dogma with with the smiling Jesus. George Carlin, man. Yo, big shout out to George Carlin. This was the same man who literally said, and that's why they call it the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. It's no wonder Kevin Smith got George Carlin to play the priest in that movie, because George Carlin already had came to the realization of Christianity and these religions and whatnot and the bullshit that they stand for. But the science behind Yeshua, big shout out to Brother Panic on that one. And Bobby Hemmett also mentioned it several times already. When you look at those pictures of Yeshua pointing at the heart is the main spiritual center. The heart is what you have to master in order for you to activate the higher spiritual centers above it, so that you can go beyond this physical realm. Because remember, when you look at the so-called main 7 melanin centers, the so-called chakras, you have the root, you have the sacral, you have the wait, I don't know if I'm mentioning them correctly, but the root, the the second one, which is just above the crotch, you have the third, which is the stomach area, the fourth being the heart chakra. But you get what it is I'm saying, my brother. The heart is what you have to master, because remember, in ancient Egypt, they would symbolically leave the heart on the mummy so that they themselves, the ancient Egyptians who were the sage people, they themselves had long come to the realization that the heart is what you have to master in order for you to get up out of this realm, out of this world. Straight up. The heart is what you have to work on. The science of the Yeshua character is nothing more than the science of you having to master your heart center. Heart lighter than a feather. Nothing is weighing you down, because just like the 42 laws of Mayat, none of that shit you experienced for real, because it's all just a fucking hallucination. It's a mirage, a facade. None of it is real. There you go, religious people. The science of Yeshua is mastering your heart melanin center. And Christianity is nothing more than but plagiarized ancient Egyptian spirituality anyway. So, Brandon, take it away, my brother. Take it away, brother. Yo, true self is on our roll. Indeed, we saying it as it is. Take it away, Double B.
Oh yeah, the only thing I'll say is for the chakras, it was root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, first eye, crown,
Yeah,
and what else?
solar plexus. Thank you for that one, bro. I don't know why. Again, I'm not a master. I'm not a master at this stuff. All I can tell you is I recall what the basic functions of each. It's an elevator. You know what I mean, bro? You have to go from floor 1 to floor 2 to floor 3 and so on and so forth. But the heart, just like the pictures of Yeshua shows you, you have to fucking master in order for you to elevate to the next level. Straight up. So big shout out to you on that one, bro.
Oh yeah, and then which video you want to start with?
In order, bro. In order.
Okay. And while the video loads, I just want to say this one is all about levels, you know what I'm saying? With dimensions, realms, it's all about, oh yeah, keep going to this level, keep going to that level. But at the end of the day, when is enough gonna be enough? Like, we should be choosing, oh yeah, we want to experience this dimension when we want to. Or yeah, I'm gonna experience this realm if I choose to. But it's like we have to keep going through different levels, different levels. That's why we talk about dreamless sleep, because even in your dreams, you just go into the astral plane, which is the 4D. So it's just above the 3D. And we already talked about how the 2D practically is better than the 3D. So at this point, who cares if you keep going up? I don't know. And that's all I gotta say.
And you want me to add to that one too, bro? I still haven't met that bitch Freddy Krueger yet. Every night I be going to the astral realm and whatnot. Where's that bitch Freddy Krueger to give me a good nudge? Give me a good reminder, you know? Like, holy shit, you literally become this dream demon, want to fucking, yeah, terrorize motherfuckers in their dreams and whatnot. But why the fuck can't you do me the favor? Do me the favor and fucking liberate me from this bullshit physical body. You know what I'm saying, bro? So essentially, Freddy Krueger is also the Grim Reaper in that sense. Because if you remember, a big shout out to Brother Panic, the whole story with Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Peter Pan is the god Pan, of course, obviously it's in the name, like in the astral realm, because in the astral realm, you're just creating whatever it is you want to create. But that's only if you have the knowledge of you being able to create whatever you want to create. And Captain Hook, being Kronos, wants to get Peter Pan up out of there. Like, yo, motherfucker, eventually you gotta move beyond the astral realm itself. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for real. What the hell you want to continue to stay here in this shit? You know what I mean? There are far higher dimensions that you could experience. You know what I'm saying? But I still haven't met that bitch Freddy Krueger. He should stop fucking around and literally, yeah, start doing damage. Like, there's so much fucking unnecessary human motherfuckers up in this bitch. Even Dolores Cannon herself, big shout out to Tai Spiritual. Dolores Cannon had mentioned in her book, well, in one of her books anyway, that yeah, there are way too many fucking beings in human bodies right now, just clogging up the energies and just fucking shit up, and in terms of the atmosphere and whatnot. Like, this is real stuff that I don't know why motherfuckers would think we're just making this up, my brother. There are individuals who better explain this and get into this stuff with better detail more than we could. But yeah, let's get into the first video with Brother Panic, I think it is, bro. And yeah, anything more you want to say before we start the video, bro?
Oh, nah, we've been killing it so far. I'll let the
Ah,
video play.
big glory to true self, for real, my brother. Just really tired of being in this fucking physical realm. But hey, bro, we're just putting in the work, so yeah, we're just doing what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
Oh, that. something.
Can you at least try to play the second half of the video, bro?
Okay.
He walk around with a hat on to protect himself with chemtrails. He has 5 diodes in his pocket. He has three copper bracelets on. I mean, this brother's fully armored from head to toe to protect himself against all of these things that we are told that is out there. So I told myself one day, I said, damn, eventually does it become mind over matter? I mean, because we got to watch out for the food. I mean, everywhere you turn around, we got to watch out for something. We can't eat this. We can't eat that. Don't drink spring water. Don't drink tap water. Don't drink distilled water. Don't look up in the sky. Don't look this way. Don't do that. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do after a while?
Well, I mean, you'll go absolutely crazy as you see niggas are starting to go crazy by listening to all that kind of shit. I mean, we can start with chemtrails. I mean, niggas been telling you they've been spraying chemtrails since the goddamn 70s. I mean, somebody needs to tell me, well, what the fuck is happening then? Because I haven't seen nothing happen. They're saying it's fucked up, but I haven't seen anything that it says is doing, or nor has it been doing it. I mean, if they're going to spray that shit, they need to put some goddamn cocoa mango up in that motherfucker, some frankincense or something. You know what I mean? Give me something. And if they're spraying some shit where you could wear a hat and it doesn't affect you, what the fuck? You know, it's ridiculous. What it is because people are holding on to these things, their hats, their diodes, and all these things that do work. They do assist you, but they should be assisting you if you have a core, if you're tapping into your core spiritual energy. If you ain't tapping into it, they just become trinkets that you're putting your energy into to protect you, all your energy. All these things should be working with you, not for you. So at the heart of this fear thing or this conspiracy thing is still, at this point, especially at this point, is just become another distraction, another thing to talk about, another thing to discuss that hasn't gotten you into your spirituality to get you activating things in yourself that bypass all this shit. You know, originally, most people got into consciousness to actually get away from fear. You can start at the core of this shit. The Willie Lynch papers is all about how to induce fear into a slave that will allow you to be able to control him for years to come. So they know this so-called Illuminati, white man, powers that be, that fear is the key. Doing nothing else but instilling fear in these, you know, in the regular nigga. So paying rent is a terrorist act against you, jobs, or you losing your job. So most people got into consciousness to get away from that, and they had solutions. They were health solutions, crystals, meditation, mantras, law solutions, but all that shit's run out. All that type of shit is run out. So what's been left over is the conspiracy, the fear, you know, and even then, when people were in the lecture circuit, they would tell you all this conspiracy stuff early on, but they would at least end off with it won't work, though. Now that's over. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers was walking out paralyzed. There was a guy, a young guy, and I thought I would never hear this, and I ain't even been listening to this lecture circuit that long. He asked DoubleB, he's like, the only problem I have with this information, it scares me to death. I was like, God damn, you know, it scares you. He said, what can we do? So DoubleB said to him, well, you actually have to mind control yourself through self-hypnotism, I think he said. So he said you actually have to mind control yourself. So now basically that's what magic and getting into your spirituality is all about. That's what all of them hieroglyphs are all about. That's what all of those, you like the candle, the veve, the sigil, all of these symbols are for you to use your technique to mind control yourself to create your own reality as opposed to creating a reality or going along with the reality that someone's creating for you, which is one of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So as simple as that. So the spiritual technique, your spiritual technology is what's supposed to get you out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So for the conscious community who's supposed to be getting past all of this and have tapped into the health and the crystal and all of this is totally opposite of what it is. It's been built up since around 1992 or 3 when they first started filming it. It's totally opposite.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the people who have that generally now? I'm a DVD vendor. I'm a video art, film lectures. The people that have made conspiracy mainstream, like and I'm talking about like the white boys, like Alex Jones,
right.
David Icke. Now, when I first got into the whole consciousness thing, this is what I gravitated toward originally. The more spiritual teachings, I couldn't understand, so I gravitated toward David Icke, Alex Jones first. So, what are your thoughts on these white boys that come out with the reptilian agenda and Obama's a reptilian? And this one, and that one. What's your whole take on that?
Those are all good as gateways, very good as gateways, but ultimately it should lead you to our story in the situation. I've seen a lot of their stuff and like, ooh, they're the reptilians. But then when I read our story, then I realized what the reptilians are is just the people who access Kundalini, which is just us. So So most people get in it to find one reason, and they get stuck on that one reason. The key is it's an ever-evolving process. And it's an ever-evolving process. So I would say most people who would be attracted to these gateway things aren't ready for a certain level of spirituality, but they damn sure have the ability to get there. But it would be all up to them. It's about people getting stuck. And one of the things that gets you stuck is fear. So it is good as a start, but you are absolutely supposed to overthrow that shit. You get what I mean? Anyone getting stuck there, is on a real low level, getting stuck there. Coming in the game, you need to hear something alternative, something to shock you, something that needs to tell you this shit is wrong. That's why so many people got conscious during 9/11. Because that was a shock, So when people got shocked, they had to find an alternative. So when all the shit didn't add up, the conspiracy shit goes right along, All that shit is supposed to get you to thinking. But then you're supposed to go into your esoteric, your occult, your metaphysical information, and then these things are supposed to trigger a process in you. Most people get stuck in a format where these people become reverends to them. The same motif they had in church or Islam or wherever it was they feel they need to get out to, they bring that same motif to this information and they don't self-study. Now, ultimately, it comes down to practical application and interfacing with yourself. The only thing I've seen that you actually could do this is through forms of magic. You actually get to know thyself. Now, all other things are included. Nothing's excluded. Meditation. Maybe you could do whatever with your diet. Nothing's really excluded. But all these things should be for the purpose of yourself, as opposed to saying I'm eating that because that's what the people say we should be eating. Eat it because it does something for you to alter your consciousness, to get you to realize something within yourself. Magic is that process that gets you to realize these things within yourself, and the fears are only your own fears. These guys are given the information, and most people are scared anyway, and they pick up on this information, and they get stuck in it. It's only stronger because it's coming from people that you trust over the years.
So tell me this: why shouldn't we be fearful if they got all of these weapons? Why shouldn't we be scared if it's just little old me against the big strong Illuminati and they got all this fancy dancy technology? Why shouldn't we be fearful? Why?
That's exactly it, because people think it's the big old Illuminati. Where the fuck are they at? There is no big old Illuminati. And even the mere fact that we think they got all these weapons, I mean, all that shit says is maybe that's the wolf ticket. Maybe that's the bullshit right there. You get what I'm saying? Maybe that's all they got is this goddamn front. Get what I'm saying? See, remember like back in the days when a nigga come to school with a fucking karate suit and some karate slippers? And you thought this nigga was a bad motherfucker. Don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Seen the Game of Death a couple of times, and you like, oh, this motherfucker's a bad motherfucker. That's all you saying. You know, and we saying Illuminati is just probably some disgruntled white boys or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's out of control.
So you're saying, and I heard you say this before, do you think that by us thinking they're powerful and by us buying the wolf tickets that they're selling us, because of the law of attraction, we create these scenarios for them? Do you think that's what's going on? We give them the
absolutely.
Like,
yes, absolutely. Especially based upon we the motherfuckers with the melanin and the creative ability. All it behooves them to get us to believe some goddamn shit, any goddamn thing. That's what the whole movies are about. That's why they always the hero, always the knight in shining armor. They're trying to get us to believe their story, which is our story, and niggas believe it. Niggas be up in the goddamn theater cheering for Tom Cruise and all that kind of shit, because it is everything they do is only to convince you that they are you, and you are trying to be them, trying to get economically sound and all that kind of shit. And then on the other hand, say the dollar's only worth 10 cents, but everybody trying to make that dollar. We're so busy trying to become them, and they're trying to figure out how to become niggas. So while they do that, the best they got is to create this illusion for you, this illusion. So on the low level, it was for the masses to keep them in a state of fear, and the conscious was out of that fear because the conscious was supposed to be grabbing hold of their ancient technology. You know, crystals and this and his meditations and all sorts of oils, whatever the hell was going on, but ultimately was supposed to be magic. And moving towards this technology was supposed to be creating our own reality, destroying these levels of ignorance. Now this shit has become the greatest cheerleader of this ignorance. We're creating their reality. It's just as simple as that. If we were boxers and they were our opponent, I don't know no boxers that train talking about the goddamn how great the left hook of the opponent is. They're talking about how to get around the left hook. And that's what was going on, at least what I've seen on the lecture circuit, no longer. Now it's talking about how the prowess of the next man, which that man has never shown that prowess, more beyond you just eating Twinkies and Wonder Bread in the hood. You know what I mean?
Well, bro, honestly, we could just move on to the next video, but yeah, Brother Panic and the brother who was yeah, who I think was hosting him there. Yeah. Honestly, I I really don't see what much more I could say except it really makes sense. When you're a boxer or a fighter in a ring going up against your opponent, bro, you're not thinking about what is it that opponent is going to do to you. You should be thinking about how is it that you're able to overcome your opponent, because that's the only way that you're going to fucking come out on top, straight up. And if you really stop and think about it, Michael Jordan, he had that fucking mentality. Yeah, it doesn't matter what is it that my opponent comes with, I'm going to go at it, and literally overcome everything that my opponent throws at me. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and all of those all-time great players. They won multiple championships because they were able to overcome what it was that the opponent had in store for them. They never thought about what the opponent was going to do to them. They only thought about how they themselves were to overcome it, and how they themselves would literally do what it is that they could do to the best of their ability to overcome the opponent. But yeah, a lot of melanated people out here. Yeah, like what Brother Panic said, we have the melanin and the creative power, but we're just allowing these crackers and these other humanoids to convince us that yeah, they're the heroes and whatnot, when in reality mythology in particular is our story. These motherfuckers, when they discovered everything that we already left behind, bro, like most of human history was already pretty much complete already. This what we're in right now, bro, is pretty much the final phases. And honestly, if this is the final phases of humanity itself, so fucking be it. Because I am just tired of this fucking species. But yeah, give your take as we go on to the next video, bro. Because yeah, Brother Panic and that brother, yeah, they literally just laid it all out already.
Oh yeah, I couldn't say anything better than that. They just want a reaction out of us. It's just feel based at the end of the day. Gateway is the new wave of spirituality, but it's just really baby knowledge at this point. But they need to tap into that deep will spirituality stuff. I'll get into
Yeah, yeah, there's nothing more we could say, bro. Let's just get into the next video. And remember, this video pretty much is in conjunction with what Dr. Mumbi herself mentioned in the video we already shared. Like, they just want our attention so much. So if they want our attention so much, that clearly shows you that you are vastly more important than they've lied to you and had you believe that you are not important. But if we're not important, why do they want, if we are not important, why the hell do they want our attention so much? Really stuff to think about.
that.
Incarnating, constantly coming forward in different vessels who carry the same mentality as the people of the past. You have people who will constantly come back in physical form in modern day, people who were extremely racist, people who were extremely uh, uh, evil and negative, people who were extremely positive. These uh, reincarnating spirits always come back in open vessels, in new hosts, in new bodies. Sometimes they come back in the wrong bodies. Sometimes they come back and it could be a white racist, right, who comes back in a black person's body. Sometimes you might have a white woman who comes back in an open vessel of a black woman. You'll have white people who come back and they'll have all the white racist men who come back inside of a black man's body, right? And he might be the one that's seeking out white women because he has that spiritually in him. And you might have that black woman. She can't figure out why she has this inclination to put on blonde hair and blonde weaves, right? Like a white woman, lighten her skin like a white woman. Energy does not die. It is constantly living and it is constantly looking to inhabit something, a physical entity. So when that person passes on maybe 100 years ago, that spirit is looking to take on a new host. Sometimes it'll jump into a black body, a white body, an Asian body. It doesn't matter. They're looking for a host. You got people back in slavery who passed away, who died during slavery, who died being slaves, who died worshiping the image of the white race, who are reincarnated in this day. or spiritual Uncle Toms back then who would, stab the black people in the back for at the behest of white people. They become those that spiritual energy is still alive on the earth. That Uncle Tom Black Buck spiritual mentality is still alive on earth, and is always looking to go inside of another black man. Because, like I said, you got a whole lot of people here. And when I broke down, well, I didn't really go into it, but I'm going to break it down in the next broadcast where you got personified beings, persons, or personified beings, people with personas, and you got people who are virtually empty vessels who are looking to be inhabited by spiritual energy that is constantly moving through this planet. They're not real persons or personified beings with their own natural personas. You have to have a soul to have a natural persona or a natural personification of who you are. And when you have that, you cannot be inhabited by spiritual energy. You cannot be inhabited by spiritual energy when you have a true soul. But the people, the mass majority of people on earth, black, white, and everything in between, they don't have any souls. They are open vessels for spirits. This is why they tend to be double-minded. Like I said, you have these black women out here today. They don't know why they putting blonde wigs on their heads. They don't know why they want to lighten their skin. They don't know why they want to embrace European culture so much, because there's a white woman trapped inside of it. Spiritually, there's a white woman trapped inside of that black vessel. And this is real. I don't care how it sounds to people. Oh, that sounds crazy, brother. I don't know. That kind of sound over the top. I don't care how it sounds to you. I'm telling you what it really is. If you acknowledge that people or energy does not go anywhere, that it stays in motion, in transit, constantly moving, then you have to acknowledge that that energy had to go somewhere. It had to take on a vessel. You've been possessed. People are not real inside. They lack that soul energy inside. They're empty vessels. And you can look in their eyes and you can listen to them talk. You could tell that they don't really have anything inside of them, no real soul inside of them, no real persona. They don't really stand for nothing. They go with this 1 minute, that the next minute, because it's like channels being turned on the TV with these people.
Bro, that is a very, very interesting alternate take from the brother Nuben Menkaris himself. I had to share that one because when you really put it all into perspective, as they say, perspective. And honestly, he's given enough detail for you to really, as you say, ponder and question. For real though, why do a lot of these niggas out here, despite everything that so-called white people did to them, do they freaking love white people like that? And me personally, I could tell you straight up, I don't give a fuck about humanity, period. Because I told you, some of the worst experiences I've had was with niggas. And I don't really interact with non-melanated people much like that to say, yeah, I've had a lot of messed up experiences with them. So, yeah, me personally, it's just based off of my experience. But I can acknowledge that people who look like me, who look like my physical body, have had fucking experience bullshit at the hands of non-melanated people. But with all that being said, bro, yeah, you give your take on it, because I distinctly remember young Pharaoh saying that um melanin no so-called white people, their spirits cannot incarnate in the bodies of melanated people. But the more I stop and think about it, who the hell even said all melanated people come from the same source? Really stop and think about it. So when you really put it all into perspective, a so-called white person not being able to become a melanated person, we're talking about the higher spiritual levels, and you're talking about, as he already said, soul, true original sun, primordial darkness beings. Sure, they don't got nothing on us. Sure, they can't incarnate in our bodies, they can't take over our bodies. All they could do is try to convince us that they are powerful and have us to use our own power to sabotage ourselves and to raise them up. But that's something completely different, bro. Oh man, you see how this stuff really makes you to stop and think, man. Take it away, bro. Yeah, take it away as we prepare to get into the next video. Take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. What he was saying is straight facts because when you really stop and think about it, it just makes sense because they just want you to give them your power because they can't create anything because they have to harvest all energies. And like how we were saying, source, people come from different parts and different pieces of source. So, you know what I'm saying? Like someone could be
Yeah,
like the
some
top,
people come from
but
the
yeah.
higher levels, others come from, like, you could say more middle levels, and others come from absolutely dog shit, garbage, low ass levels. Like, yeah, you really gotta see it all for what it is. Hey, bro, we already said source itself is not perfect. We never said source is perfect. We just says source. We only said source is all that there is and what we initially come from. And that we shouldn't fear death because death isn't even fucking real. It's just moving on from the fucking physical body and, yeah, the physical experience. You know what I mean? But that's something completely different. So, yeah, source isn't perfect. Source is source, the all in all, straight up.
Straight up. Let me get to the next video.
Anything else that you wanted to add, bro?
Nah, I think we was all good.
Is the same. The word Damien, the word melanin, the word Hades, the word Satan is the same as the word soul. The pre-existent sons, the sons. So the whole concept here is the return of the ancient evil is us. The problem here is we have been thinking of our particular selves as good. Now, one of the great mysteries in ancient Kemet is when they go down what is called the Book of the Gates. And that's when the soul descends deeper and deeper into what is called the Twat, or the underworld, at the hours, each hour of the night. The closer it descends down to the stuff, the more and more the layers of the illusion starts to pop off of this shit. So it starts off as a human, and then it starts to descend, going into the underworld, and all these illusions, bam, pops off. I thought I was this, that pops off. All this shit pops off, it keeps popping off, till they get to the goddamn underworld, and guess what? When they get to the damn underworld, guess what? Only thing that's left is a whole bunch of monsters. That's what we are. Now, I want you to hear what I'm trying to say now. He makes an allusion to it in his book called the E. Wallace Budge book, The Egyptian Heaven and Hell. There was a little small volume that was put out years ago. They waited 90 years to put the original text out from 1906, I think, to 1996, which is 3 other volumes. And in there they talk about these monsters that's in these realms when you descend deeper into the underworld. Whenever we shed all of this stuff that we call human, we turn into motherfucking monsters. The predator, alien, Godzilla. No, listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. It's not just a hieroglyph. What I'm trying to tell you, now listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. In these texts is called the monstrous soul. They say man is so far removed from what it really was, and so when it gets a glimpse of its soul, it's fighting at what it sees. Because guess what? When you see them monsters and them demons in the brood at night, guess what? That's your fucking soul. We are monsters. ancient evil. I'm not telling you some shit that I try to give all the scholarship and stuff like this and all. It's called The Monstrous Soul. The book Dreams in the Underworld. They talk about these night brood, these breeds. Go back and get the Greek text where they talk about the Titans. When the Titans fell, what were these Titans? There was a bunch of brood and a breed of these slimy, grotesque things. That's what the fuck fell. That's what the Olympian realm of Zeus and them defeated. They defeated a bunch of monsters. It's in the goddamn movie Demon Knight. What's the name of that movie? Tales from the Crypts. Tale from the Crypt. Tale from the Crypt. Demon Knight with Billy Zane and Jada Pinkett. And they say, in the beginning, demons used to rule the earth. All right? If you get the movie Wishmaster 1 and 2, this for the Islamic folks. They say in the beginning, jinns used to rule. And the Wishmaster say what? We get enough wishes, jinns walk the earth again. Especially in Wishmaster 2. We are the jinn. We are the Damien. But I ain't talking about some good shit. I was candy coating that shit for years. Oh, you know the Damon is good. Y'all all right? Yeah. Yeah.
He basically goes into explaining how at the core of us, basically what we're trying to get to is understanding that we're just ruthlessness.
Ruthlessness. Damon, look now. The Cthulhu. Cthulhu is a group of monsters that used to rule. That was overthrown. And where man lives now, Cthulhu, Shub-Niggurath, Hastur, Yosathos, Azathoth used to rule, but they will be ushered in by one dark messenger called Nirlin-Hotep, the dark god. And he's called Crawling Chaos. Now, Cthulhu and them used to rule, and where man rules now, the great old ones used to rule. When the great old ones, where man rules now, the great old ones shall rule again. Now stick with me on this. This is very important. They got this, H.P. Lovecraft dreamed of all these damn Cthulhu and all these monsters. And the basis of the old monster movie and the basis of horror comes from H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu mythos, with the Call of Cthulhu being the first in 1922. Now, he was getting these things from the dream realm of what he was seeing, and he was a racist. But why, if a man, a racist, would name the ultimate messenger of his mythology that made him rich, a black man, who was supposed to be the only human of all of them, was the black man, Nirlin-Hotep, Crawling Chaos. Now stick with me. A guy named Fred L. Pelton in 1947 traced the Cthulhu mythos, which is supposed to be fictional, and lined it up with ancient Egyptian, Sumerian, and Greek mythology and proved that the Cthulhu shit of these monsters used to rule is in, the ancients have been talking about this shit for years. And when he first did it, did this particular book, wrote this particular thesis, nobody in 1947 would print it. So he ended up dying, his kids sold off the shit, and they weren't able to get this shit till 1996. The guy to the Cthulhu cult, the guy to the, and he has a whole section called, pre-human and non-human races, non-human cultures. Now, and he calls this shit evil mythology. They were non-human. So, the basis of the monster movie that people have been scared of all these years, or these monsters gonna retake the earth, guess what? That's us. This is why the white man gives you religion. He know you ain't gonna never tap into this shit here. This shit here is so motherfucking crazy that you never get it. That's what it always gonna come to. The Godzilla. You see what I'm saying? These particular entities, but these particular entities that are pre-human are non-human. But in the Book of the Gates, which is your hell scene, like Diop said, but Diop, Sheikh Anta Diop before he died, came to Atlanta, went to the King Center. They even named one day of this month as Sheikh Anta Diop's day. He said that the damn Hebrews didn't even have a hell concept until 100 years before Jesus Christ, and they took the Egyptian book of Gates and drafted it into the hell concept, and that becomes the whole Sheol thing. But the Egyptian book of the Gates, they only put the complete book of the Gates out, which is called the Egyptian book of Heaven and Hell, a big green book. I got it and all. I mean, it's just trying to translate the shit. I mean, it's just, it's worthless. But David didn't put it out they held it for 90 damn years. But in that, the motherfucking Ani or the person who's going through this shit, when he gets back to his destination, when he gets home, he turned into a goddamn monster. And that's what we are. And whenever you have sex, you express that shit. Whenever you give away to the muse, whenever you give away to the indulgence, you tap back into that primal energy. That's why they got you in church. We have become humans when we are something else. We are Titan figures.
And that one should definitely, positively, most assuredly be one to end this one. Like, whew. Brandon, thank you so very much once again, bro. Like I said, it isn't great to be back into this place, but we did it, bro. We did it. Pat yourself on the back and give yourself one big hug, bro. We did it. We put out another one. Yeah, it's all up to those who would awaken to all of this to yeah, have their spiritual eyes open and see everything for what it really is. Yeah, that was a really good one, bro. Thank you so very much for the opportunity once again. Always a pleasure, bro. And what could I say, bro? It's no wonder ever since I was young, I kid you not, like cycles, when I was a wee young lad, whenever I would watch Chucky, I would watch, yeah, what else? Any kind of monster movie. It was something about these monster movies that I was always gravitated toward them. I always said horror was my favorite genre ever since I was young, but I could never fully comprehend why. Now, coming full circle with Bobby Hemmett and all this occult esoteric knowledge, it all makes perfect sense. I hate being human. I hate everything about this fucking body. Shit, I mean, Agent Smith in The Matrix himself already said it, and he's a goddamn computer program. So imagine that. Bro, I'm telling you, yo, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. It's just so much. It's just so fucking much. But yo, Godzilla, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees. Yeah, I guess Mesogog from Power Rangers. Which is interesting because Mesogog, who was the main villain in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, what was it? Dino Thunder was the what was it? Let me see. Wild Force was 10. I guess the 12th Power Rangers season. Yeah. Tommy Oliver, who was a Power Rangers legend, the great Jason David Frank played him. Big shout out to him. May he be in a way better place than here for sure. I think he ended his experience. He ended his own experience in this realm based off of what I heard. Either way, yeah, gone, but certainly not forgotten. Either way, may JDF be in a way better place. But um, Mesogog, who was the main villain of that show, is compared to so-called Pinhead, the lead Cenobite of the Hellraiser series, which is very interesting, especially when you go in the villains wiki, you could literally see it. But either way, all these non-human characters, like I said, ever since I was young, bro, I was always gravitated toward these creatures. Alien and Predator. Oh, you need no better example, especially when it comes to these human-shaped, non-human characters. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like it's just so fucking amazing. But bro, as we end this, as we literally put an end to this live, like once again, thank you so very much. And yeah, you give your take and you give your additions to everything that Bobby himself already said, because bro, it just makes so much fucking sense. Being human sucks. But again, that's just my personal opinion anyway. Take it away, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. With what he was saying, like we can tap once we tap into our shadow and dark side, like we can really cause some like really legit damage. You get what I'm saying? Like if anyone really pushes us to that limit, but you just have to balance both of them as well. And even in the video, he was talking about those temporary highs as well. So people should just like don't beat yourself up about it. You get what I'm saying? Just be in the right mindset and you'll be straight because remember this physical world is so dense, it's so dumped with all these stagnant energies and everything like that. So like don't beat yourself up. You're not really experiencing this anyway, so what's really the point? You get what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming on too as well and for your time, quote unquote time, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the pleasure is all mine, my brother. Like, I guess this is why the human experience even exists, just so we could be aware of other beings that come from other sides of the universe, like whatever side of the universe you're from, bro. Yeah, definitely. I'm probably gonna have to pay a visit over there one day, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, at least coming to this place, yeah, I became aware of your existence as well as the existence of others. So like, of course, having to interact with one another in our true form is definitely going to be a whole other experience. But hey, definitely got to be way better than this shit for sure. But either way, the pleasure is all mine, my brother. It reminds me of Sutter Kane from In the Mouth of Madness when he came to the realization that the great old ones were the true rulers. Just like how Bobby Hemmett already mentioned, Wishmaster. By the way, watch Wishmaster 1 and 2, like definitely some deep stuff, because once again, I'm not just watching these movies for entertainment anymore. And entertainment wise, the movie's kind of clunky and yeah, it's kind of weird, but definitely you want to get into that knowledge with the jinn and these ancient creatures that used to rule before humanity came along. And yeah, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, it's a personal all-time favorite movie of mine. And that whole message with in the beginning God created heaven and earth, and in the darkness there was nothing but demons and monsters. Every mythology says the same thing. So that just goes to show you, bro, this human experience is nothing but some temporary shit. Yo, to show you, there was this Powerpuff Girls episode where the girls had to literally take care of this baby. They found this baby, they had to take care of this baby. Bro, long story short, reaching the end of the episode, this baby, which had like, yeah, human skin on it, it shed off the human skin. And it was this melanated black monster. The mother came looking by. And mind you, at the beginning of the episode, the girls were fighting that same monster. Is when she came speaking in a more human voice. She literally told the girls, "Oh, that's my baby. He was just going through a uh, cocoon phase." And that right there is nothing but an ugly shell in which he had to go through that cocoon phase. The girls were just watching like, and we were there thinking that this fucking baby, this we were thinking that it was a baby the whole time. They dropped that in a Powerpuff Girls episode, my brother. I and so convenient. I never forgot that episode, and I'm able to share it with y'all. Like, you see how it all comes full circle, Brandon? Like, yo, I'm telling you, throughout entertainment, yo, they literally have this stuff hidden right in our faces. But hey, bro, they're not just gonna make they're not just gonna make some entertainment shit just to make it past me. Nah, I'm literally keeping my spiritual eyes open to see what the fuck the message is that they're trying to hide in plain sight in that motherfucker, straight up. But especially a lot of these older cartoon shows, movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, man, it's all over the place. But bro, it's all based off of our stuff anyway. So, what you should be doing is simply getting back to your true self, because this is just a temporary experience anyway. And like I said, in the beginning, it might have been the shit, but now it's nothing more than shit. Straight up. You don't play with shit. You literally dispose of it in the sewage system. You don't play with garbage. You literally dispose of it in the dump. Straight up. But Brandon, big shout out to you on those fucking yeah, quotes right there. Any last words as we literally oh yeah, let the people know what it is that's going on with you, my brother. For real, for real.
Oh yeah. That's like the best analogy though. Like it was the shit, but now it's just pure shit. Yo, that's like the best analogy out here. Cap, but
It's really more based off of the quote unquote cycles of time. I mean, I could imagine that this place used to be really fun and definitely an enjoyable experience, but like within the last, I don't know, however many centuries or whatnot, that really has been deteriorating into something ugly. But that should let us know that, yeah, the great old ones are ready to take over again, and we should stop holding on to humanity straight up because humanity is exactly what's keeping us back. And we got to move beyond that.
yeah, that's straight up facts right there. No cap.
Yeah, so anyway, bro, anything special that you would like for the people watching to know regarding what's going on with you and yeah.
I know a few months ago I put out some like oracle cards. If anyone's interested, I got some oracle cards. But what's been going on with you, man?
Yeah, nah, I literally have nothing to say, my brother. Like, I'm literally just the guest on this motherfucker. Like, you're the host. You're definitely, yeah, straight up, my brother. I got nothing to say, but again, big pleasure. Big shout out to you, bro. Yeah, what can I say? Definitely, it's been another great honor to be in your presence once again, Brandon. Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity once again. And yeah, I don't know how much more of these lives we're gonna continue to do, but because we just continue to grow and whatnot, bro. But knowledge is infinite, so like definitely, as long as we unfortunately come back to experience this shit, we just do what it is we gotta do. But we'll definitely keep in touch. And bro, once again, pleasure. And any last words, any last personal takes before we head up out of here?
Oh, nah, I think our true selves definitely killed that one again. We just been like kill shot with these joints on
You ready to call this our magnum opus, or the best is yet to come?
we just keep getting better with these. Okay.
Yeah, for real, my brother. Big pleasure, much appreciated, bro. Yeah, everyone, take care of yourselves, elevate yourselves. Yeah, humanity is definitely on its way out. I mean, like what Dr. Mumbi said, we never had a beginning and we'll never have an end. They had a beginning and they're trying to avoid what they cannot avoid. So, too bad for them.
Yeah, facts. It's gonna be end for them.
Brandon, yo, as always, we'll keep in touch. Big shout out, bro.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace out. Yo, make sure you follow, subscribe, share, like, comment, subscribe,